Team record. Okay. All right. So whatever we covered last week, as I said, I couldn't send it because I was extremely sick yesterday. I went to work, and when I came back home, I couldn't sit down at all. So that's why I didn't do it, because in order to upload and send you the document, it takes some work. That's why I couldn't do anything on Monday or Tuesday. Okay. And also today, I was supposed to go to the hospital, but I'm feeling a little better. And also at the same time, I have a doctor's appointment. So hopefully everything will be okay. Now, whatever we covered last week, since you didn't get the output, let's see. We'll briefly go over whatever we covered. Whatever we didn't cover, we are familiar with at least ls command. Ls command shows the listings of the files and directories, right? Uname is for the system name. Okay, like for example, you can see my screen, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
this screen.
Okay.
Yes.
You can also see whatever I'm typing.
Yes.
Okay. Now, where is my... It kicked me out from that window. Okay, so looks like it killed the script window also, which is fine. Okay, so let's say with script Linux dot 07272022.txt. Okay, now we know what is ls command is. Okay, this is the only file we created. If we create multiple files or directories, let's say mkdir, dir1, dir2, dir3, okay, touch file1, file2, file3, touch create empty files, mkdir creates empty directories. Empty meaning nothing is in there. If we type ls, we can see it, right? If we want to see it, the timing it was created, so we do ls-ltr. Okay, as you can see, we created the directory first. Directory 3 was created before directory 1. That's why it lists it accordingly. Okay, it shows the directory first, it shows the files later. All right, when you see the names, right, when you see ls-ltr, L meaning long format. If you also type ll, you will see the same. Okay, so this is called long format. In the long format, the first thing is we'll have to learn this. See, this line starts with a D. If it starts with a D, then it's called a directory. If it starts with a dash, then it's a regular file. Okay, then there is RWX, RWX, R-X. For the file, it is different, right? It is RW meaning read write. X means execute. Okay, we'll learn all that when we'll go to the permission page. Then it says the user who owns it. See, there is nothing ambiguous in Linux, right? Meaning, oh, it is just there, we don't know what it is. No. everything has a meaning. Okay, the next one is who owns this file, the group of the user who owns this file, when it was created, what time it was created, and the name of the directory or name of the file. So let's say if we do ls-l user lib, for example. Okay, see, this one starts with a L, right? So if it starts with a L, then it is a linked file. So these are the three most things you will be dealing with: directory, files, or a linked file. So if it starts with a D, then it's a directory. If it starts with a dash, then it's a file. If it starts with a L, then it is a linked file. Okay, there are one or two others. We'll see it later on. So let's see if I type ls-F, if it's after the name, if there is a dash, sorry, if there is a forward slash, then it's a directory. If there is nothing, then it's a file. Okay, let's see. Okay, if we do it again now, okay, as you can see, this file, this time it shows a star. Star meaning executable. Okay, what is executable? We'll deal with it a little later. Okay, so let's take a look at the next command, uname. What is uname? If we just type uname, then the machine says the operating system type. If I type uname -n, then it shows me the machine name. Okay, also we can see the machine name in this file. Okay, etc host name. We'll see how we can change the host names. Okay, uname -a is for everything. Show me everything. The type of operating system. The next one is the machine name, the kernel version, when it was created, the timing it is using. See, it is using UTC. So if we type DATE, see, it says 2217. 2217 meaning what? 1017 right now, right? Okay, but actually it's not 1017. Okay, so it is not using Eastern time. It is using a universal standard time. Okay, we'll see once we move forward, we'll see how we can manipulate time. As you can see, if it was using New York time, then it would have been EST, Eastern Standard Time. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Man, we already saw it. CD. CD is change directory. Very simple. Let's say ls. We have a directories. Let's say we want to create multiple directories. For example, mkdir. Let's say dir1, and then underneath it, let's say I want to create few more directories. dir, let's say 3, dir4, dir5, dir6. Okay, see what happened is over here, I don't know whether you can see it. Let me copy it to a bigger one. Oops. Next week I'll bring my blackboard. Okay, so what happened is, if you can see it, let's see. Format font. Okay, Now I hope you can see it a little better, right? So in this case,
Just one question.
yeah,
How you create untitled notepad? Where we have to go?
I'm sorry.
You created untitled notepad, right? One subdirectory like this.
No, I didn't create a subdirectory on the notepad. I just copied it from the terminal to the notepad so you can see it better. Okay, so mkdir, as you can see, there is a directory called dir1. Let's say underneath it, I want to create 5 more directories, 4 more directories. Okay, so I have 2 options. First option is, let's say I can go there, dir1, and then I can do whatever I want, right? Second option is that underneath it, I can put a curly brace and I can create that command. Okay, now, so let's say I want to create dir3, dir4, dir5. Okay, see, it works, right? Where I am on /home/ec2 user. ec2 is the user is the one I logged into. Okay, we'll talk about the user accounts in a few minutes. Okay, hopefully today. Let's see how far I can continue. Okay, now let's say I have dir2, dir3, dir4, right? Let's say I want to go to dir4, and let's say I create 1 more directory. Let's say dir6, dir7. Okay, if I go to dir6, okay, how do you see where you are? Always pwd. Now let's say I want to come back to my home directory. That's where cd comes in. So if I type cd without any option, then it will put me into the home directory. If I want to go to the last directory I was, if I type cd space dash. Okay, now let's say I want to go back 2 directories. Remember last time we talked about 1 dot and 2 dot? See, 1 dot and 2 dot, remember we talked about this? 1 dot is called the parent directory, presently where I am, and 2 dot is back 1 directory, the child directory. Okay, so if I want to go back, let's say 2 directories, let's say I want to go back here. Okay, so I type dir dot dot slash dot dot. Okay, before I do that, let's take a look at where I am currently now. pwd, right? We can see where we are. If I do cd dot dot slash dot dot, okay, and if I do pwd now, see, I went back 2 directories, right? Okay, as you play with it more, just know that the cd is for change directories, and these 2 dot slashes can move you forward or backward in different directions. Okay, so let's say I am on, let's go back to dir3, for example, and I want to go back, let's say dir5, which is located under dir1. So what I have to do is cd dot dot, which says go back 1 directory and then move forward 1 directory. Let's say I want to go to dir4. Okay, see, I am now on dir4. All it requires is practice, and if you have any questions, cd command you will be dealing with for the rest of your life. Okay, now let's go over cat. Okay, cat is to open a file. So let's say, oops. Okay, cat cat command is to open a file. So let's say, for example, let's say echo. Remember last time we saw the echo command? If you just use this, the computer will say, okay, this is a test. Okay. If I do, for example, a greater than sign, let's say I call it file 5, for example, then whatever is in there inside the code, it will be appended to that file. So now if I open this file, file 5, you will see that content. Let's say if I want to put, if I do this again, what will happen is it will override whatever is in there. Okay. See, it's only the same line. If I want to append meaning add, then I use the double quote. Okay. If I open this file now, see there is 2 lines. If I do this again, there will be 3 lines. Okay. So cat command is to open a file. All right. Let's say, let's create another file man. Let's say cd. Let's say file test 1. Okay. If we open that file, okay, see cat command shows the entire file at the same time. Okay. When I'll send this file, I'll omit these gigantic lines, otherwise you will be lost. Okay. When I'll send the outputs, I'll not send you this. Just the cat command will be there. Okay, I'll delete this. Otherwise you will get lost. Anyway, so there are other commands to open a file. One is more. That was file test, right? Okay. More command shows the file 1 page at a time. And if you want to go back 1 line at a time, then you hit enter. If you want to see 1 page at a time, then you press the space bar. As you can see, it moves much faster. Okay, if I press the enter, then it moves 1 line at a time. There is another command to open a file, which is less. Okay. See, this also open. There is a difference between more and less. We'll talk about that later. Okay, less is actually much more advanced than more. Okay. This also shows the files in spacebar shows 1 file, 1 page at a time, and enter key shows 1 line at a time. But there is a huge difference between the two. Do you have to know it? If you know it, it's better, but that's not absolutely necessary. Okay. The most important one we'll have to learn, which is VI or Vim. Vim is the latest version, VI is the older version. We have to learn this manipulation of the file by heart, because, say for example, okay. Oops. Okay. Let's say if you are on a VM, say for example on this one. Let's say your boss asks you that, can you change the host name of this file? Can you change the host name of this machine? Okay. This is the host name of this machine. So let's say obviously when you work for a company, this cannot be a machine name because nobody will not recognize the machine. If you work for, say for example, if you work for Chase Bank, okay, their machine name could be server1.chase.com. So definitely this name has to be changed. Okay, every company uses their own domain name on the machine. Okay, so how do you change this file? Okay, in Linux, all you get is a prompt and a screen. You don't have Notepad, you don't have WordPad, you don't have anything to manipulate to change this file. So in this case, let's say we'll have to use VI. There is other tools. One is called Emacs, one is called Nano, Nano, and one is called VM.
So I have a question.
Uh-huh.
If we type hostname.ctl, then we can change the name, right?
Okay, so hostname CTL is for this command only. But let's say you are changing another file. Say, for example, let's say you are changing this file. Okay, there is no hostname CTL here. Okay, so let's not rely on those ready to made commands. Okay, we'll have to learn VI. There is no other alternative. Okay, but anyway, let me change this file, the host name. Okay, let's say we'll make it Linux 1.example.com. Okay, now let's save it. As I said, we'll learn VI, but let's see how it works. Let me reboot. Hostname takes effect either when you use hostname CTL or reboot. So let's do the reboot. Let's see what happens. Okay, if you go back to the console, instances. Okay, let's connect. Let's see if it can connect. Since it is rebooting, probably it will take some time to connect. So as you can see, it did connected and it did change the host name. Remember the host name before? We should have that file. See the Linux. Okay. Before the host name was, oops. That's why I said I'll delete the extra stuff that goes in there. Otherwise, it will be a massive file. Okay. So before, let me open this file again. Oh, come on. Let me use the more. See, this is one of the good option to open the more. Use the more command. Okay. See, before the host name was like this, right? Now, if we take a look at the host name, because we changed it on the host file, right? Now it says Linux class 1. Okay. It doesn't say the full domain name. Why? There is a option for that. Okay, we'll take a look at this later. Let's see. Okay, so PS1 doesn't come here. Okay, so we'll see how this name comes about, okay, and how we can manipulate it. But at least we saw how we change the host name. Okay, let's go back to our PDF. Cat, we saw it, date. Okay, date command shows you the date, right? There is a lot of manipulation can be done for the date command, especially, say for example, let's say you are working on a company that asks you to create a log file every day at 12:35 a.m. Okay, so you have to find that time, you have to manipulate that time, the 12:35 a.m. time from the date command. We'll see as we move forward. Okay, for now it will be a little too advanced. Okay, date and time is to change the date and time, but we rarely use it. CP command is to copy one thing to the other. So let's say, oh, I have to start the script again and see, because I rebooted it. So yeah, it's okay. So basically it will append whatever was there before. All right, now, so CP command is, let's say, file name CP file test1 to file test, let's say 2. Okay, plain and simple. Copies one thing to the other. So let's say now, if we open this file, file test1, okay, and if we open the file test2, it will be the same. Okay, how do we know it is same? There is a command called diff. Diff means show me the difference between, let's say, file test1 and file test2. Okay, see, it says no difference. Now let's change something. Let's say vi file test. Let's change something on file test2. Okay, let's go to, let's say, on line number, it says it has 859 lines. Let's go to line number 600. So colon 600, and let's delete 10 lines from here. How do you delete? DD deletes 1 line. 10D deletes 10 lines. Okay. D. Okay. 10DD. Now let's save it. If I do now the diff command, file test1 and file test2, okay, see, there is a difference. It says on that line, on line number 600, there is something missing on file test1. If it is pointing to the left, the greater than and smaller than sign. If it is smaller than sign, that means it is missing on the first file. If it is the other way, then it is missing on the second file. No, actually, sorry, I'm wrong. If it is pointing to the right, then it is missing on the first file. If it is missing on the second file, then it is pointing to the left side. Okay. Let's go back to our commands again. Diff, we didn't go there yet. CPU, we saw it. MKDIR, we saw it. RMDIR. Okay. RMDIR is to remove a directory. So let's say if I do RMDIR, let's say dir1, I cannot delete it because it says directory is not an empty. First, you have to delete, the content. So let's say if I do RMDIR, dir6, curly brace, see, it doesn't complain. Why? Because dir6 doesn't have anything. If I have to remove dir1, then I have to do rm-rf dir1. That basically says delete everything, the child and the parent. Okay, parent in this case is the dir1 and child is whatever is underneath that. When I run this command, there is no complaint. If I try to run this command again, okay, it doesn't complain, but it is not there anyway. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Move. Move basically renaming a file. Okay. So let's say this file test1, for example. So let's say if I do mv file test1 to, let's say, file test111, for example. Okay. See, file test1 doesn't exist anymore. It is file test111. Okay. We saw RM, we saw touch. Okay. Locate. Okay. So locate command is used to locate commands. I have never used it. I don't know how it works. Okay, next time I'll see. It's probably search for something else. Find files by name, but it didn't find it. See, let's say locate ls, it couldn't find it. Let's see. Locate file1. Even though it is here, it couldn't find it. Anyway, we'll see. Locate command is not that important. One of the most important command is where is. You'll be using it a lot. Okay, where is ls? Where is that particular command? Find. Okay, find is one of the most important command. You will be using it a lot. Okay, so let's say find from where we are looking at. Let's say we are looking at a file called hostname, for example. Starting from root, we don't know where it is located. Remember, we talked about the root. Root is the very top of the file system, and everything is underneath it. Find /root dash, let's say name, hostname dash print. Print meaning show me. Okay, the reason it is doing that, it is saying basically that you cannot search. As you can see, it says permission denied. Okay, it says that you cannot search in there. Why? Because remember, we are a regular user. If you are a regular user, you see a $sign. If you are a root user, then you get £. So let's become root. Sudo command not found. Why? Did I type wrong? Oh, sudo dash, I didn't put the I. Okay, now if I search it, find, let's say dash name, let's say host name dash print. Let's see what it does. See, now it doesn't go and say that you permission denied. It shows wherever the hostname file is located. First of all, it is located in, so why do you use for host, find command? Let's say you are trying to locate a file. Wherever it is located, you want to manipulate it, you want to change it. Okay, so if you don't know where it is located, you use the find command. Find command can be used for lots of other purposes also, but this is one of the most basic one. This command can be made simple also, like for example, find /5 grep, that's a host name. Okay, in this case, it will also show the host name, but it will simply show all the results. Okay, wherever it sees the host name. Okay, in this case, it will show only the names. But if you can see, this shows everything, wherever the word host name is located. Okay, so there is a difference between the two commands. First, we type this one. This one shows only that ends with a host name, right? When you use this command shows all the file names that has a word host name in it, regardless whether it is beginning, at the end, in the middle, doesn't matter. Give me just 1 second, please. Okay. So far, any question? Okay, if not, let's continue. Oh, come on. Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can